Strange blue smurfs on my screen. I've been casting so much PvZ I don't even think I recognize Terran anymore. But I will be glad to see some Terran back in action. I'm also getting a little bit misty-eyed about casting a game on Oxide. The map is rotating out. I'm glad because we're certainly overdue for some new arenas. New forums for our blood-soaked pastime. But that doesn't mean I want to diss Oxide. It's brought us some pretty good games. Looks like a Reaper block position for that opening gateway for Trap, and a top ramp wall off for Terran, of course. I still remember the first time I ever saw a wall off being done in Brood War. I was like, wow, what a crazy smart good idea. Both players taking their initial gas. But hey, did I ever tell you that my favorite flora is the Venus fly Trap?
Current world rank 11.
For those of you who are uninitiated, I have this thing where I feel compelled to try to justify my strange opinion that Zest is the #1 Protoss player in the world, not Trap. It's a hard thing to maintain because Trap is pretty good. But for those of you who are keeping score at home, Zest is currently ranked 8th, ahead of Trap. You know what they say, a stopped clock is right twice a day? It's going to be Nexus before Core, a distinction that actually matters in this matchup. It means that Trap likely will not be able to use an Adept to harass the command center before it finishes building. That is, assuming HeRoMaRinE ever gets that down. Oh, there we go. Just one more intro. Our Terran player in the bottom left is not a villainous infantryman. He is a HeRoMaRinE!
Current world rank 7.
So, HeRoMaRinE, aka Big Gabe, is going to squeeze out a single Marine before he gets started on building the reactor for his barracks. That's going to let him chase down that scouting probe. Core completes, chrono boosted Adept, and immediate warp gate research. This party is getting started, factory on the way. The tech choice for Protoss is going to be a Twilight Council. That gives me hope that there's at least an even chance we're going to see some of Trap's famous Blink Stalker play. He has some of the very best Stalker control in the world. The Nexus at the Natural completes, and the Adept is off. Or at least the shade is. I tried watching the Adept Marathon on Sportsnet. It's very hard to tell who's in the lead with all the shading. Though I bet they'd be great at basketball. Windmill dunks coming out of nowhere. Alley-oops are impressive, but a teleporting alley-oop, that's where it's at. Okay, the Twilight Council finishes up. Yes, there is a blink being researched. There's that shade into the Terran Natural. There's a lot of Marines there. Oh, HeRoMaRiNE's actually just going to go out and go for the Adept. That could actually leave his Natural a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, the Adept ducks away and sends in a shade. Oh, this is not good for the SCVs at the Natural. Oh, Trap doesn't let it complete. Oh, because HeRoMaRiNE's actually pushing out for an attack. The Adept is hightailing it back home. There's only one Stalker there to defend right now. Trap's busy trying to make another one. The Stalker's gonna try to use its superior range to cull that Marine force. That's something Trap is so good at, but it's hard with just a single Stalker. HeRoMaRiNE sees that there's no third, and it looks like he's pulling back. He's gonna try to get a scout off with his Hellion though. It makes it inside, it soaks the hit, goes up the ramp, sees the blink research. Big time bonus points if you can get some probe kills on top of that. Stalkers are gonna cut him down, but he's got to be happy with that scout. Oh, the driver just parks and accepts his fate. He decides to watch the sun set over the cliffs one final time before he dies. And so now Trap takes his third. HeRoMaRinE has his first tank out. That's gonna change the dynamic of the game. The Marines have scurried back home. Double forges going down for Protoss. Is that an empty medevac? There's nothing in there. I think this is like a fake out. It's acting like a drop. It's actually been a long time since I've seen this been done. The idea is you want to suck the defense towards your medevac and freak your opponent out. Sort of does attention damage. But usually you have a second force that's looking to take advantage when the defendants all move out of position. Yeah, you can see the Stalkers are taking the bait. He's managed to sell it. But I don't know how far that gets you if you don't have... Oh, there's the second force. So the theory is if the Stalkers now stay out of position, the tanks are going to be able to set up. Oh, Hallucinated Phoenix just missed seeing that force push out. He scouts the Terran bases, but what he really needs to see is the absence of units. Because they are knocking on his door here. Oh, single Stalker's going to get the bad news. Better late than never, but the Protoss third is in trouble now. Oh, and HeRoMaRinE got his medevac out to link up with his forces. First tank is sieged. Trap does have blink though. Oh, and he's making a bunker. That is such an ideal spot. If that bunker finishes, that Nexus cannot be saved. Banshee reinforcing the Terran position. There's the blink. Trap looking to snipe the tanks. He gets one, he gets two. The Nexus is hanging by a thread. The Marines finish the job. We don't need no tanks. They are gonna need that bunker to finish though. With no tanks and no medevacs, those Marines are very vulnerable to Stalkers. HeRoMaRinE starts researching +1 attack. Trap is halfway done, +1 attack and +1 armor. Bunker's done, it's loaded. That's gonna give the Marines something to rally around and some extra range. Trap sees it, he backs off. The third base location has no more strategic value now that the Nexus is gone. Oh, I think he's looking to counter. HeRoMaRinE scrambling his troops at home to defend. He's trying to start up a bunker there. He's no longer getting any value out of his troops up north. Oh, Trap uses an adept to soak the tank shot, and then he blinks on the tank. He gets it. That was just slick. HeRoMaRinE has to do an SCV pull to stay alive. His bunker's not building. The constructing SCV died and is in a scrap heap. The offensive bunker has been salvaged. The attack force is rushing home. Actually, they're going to set up an ambush for the retreating Stalkers. Oh, this is clever. They've taken the high ground so they can't be seen. Trap's going to walk right into it. Oh! But he does kill the wounded Banshee. And somehow Trap actually came out on top on that exchange. And now he's just going to use these range challenge Marines. This is actually really hard to do, but Trap is one of the best in the business at it. Meanwhile, Protoss with a gateway explosion at home. He's taking it up to 8. HeRoMaRinE trying to get as much needed stim and combat shields done. But he's also going to start up concussive shells and add in those Marauders. He knows he's principally up against Blink Stalkers, and that's what he needs for the counter. It gives him that nice bonus punch against the armor, and that slow debuff is just essential against a much faster Stalker. Oh, Trap did not want to walk into that one. And that's going to give HeRoMaRinE time to get his upgrades finished. Terran scan's going to reveal that Trap has started +2/+2. It's also going to catch the Robo finishing up. But Trap is just warping in Stalkers. Oh, I see. He's getting an observer. He wants to be able to blink into the main. There's just too much Terran defense at the front door. Actually, scrap that because it's all coming to Trap's front door. Trap has his triangular third up. HeRoMaRinE does not have a third. He's got to either shut down a Protoss base or he's got to start one of his own to keep pace. Trap's already outmining him with a worker lead of 9. Oh, there's a counterforce of Zealots heading south, but they're going to get caught in the middle of the map. That's not where the action is. Quick scan kills the observer. That's going to give HeRoMaRinE a lot of peace of mind. Why is Big Gabe not taking the high ground corner with his tank? That's such a sweet spot. I guess he sieges up on the low ground to maximize the amount of things that he can hit. He is cutting into the natural. Trap strike force is coming back, but it's late. The Zealots are going to hit. Can they neutralize the tanks, or can the Marines brush them off? One tank down. Guardian shield goes up. 2 tanks. No. 2 tanks survive. Trap has to fight his way through his own force fields, but he gets on top of the tanks. HeRoMaRinE is reinforcing. Who's got this? It's Terran. Trap's army is depleted. He's got a handful of Stalkers trying to look bigger than they are. They are pufferfish here. Nice medevac snipe by those pufferfish. And then he uses that superior economy to start rebuilding his army. Those shield batteries are a real deterrent. HeRoMaRinE's not making workers. He's going all in on troops here. He's rallying everything towards the Protoss third. Oh, he's pulled his SCVs. This is gonna be it. Trap just needs to hold. Terran's got the bigger army. The battery overcharge is gonna be everything. It goes. Force fields cut the Terran army. The SCVs are getting ripped. HeRoMaRinE changes direction. He kills an immortal. He's killing the Protoss army while ignoring the shield battery, but now he's drawn back in. The screening SCVs are almost all dead, but Trap has no army. He's trying to make another immortal. The last stalkers are melting. Shield batteries are no. The photon cannon falls. Emergency stalker warp in for Trap. HeRoMaRinE stims right at it. The probes are joining the fight. The Terran army has no hit points left. The Protoss doesn't have much of an army at all. Trap blinks to the high ground to save his forces, but that means his Nexus is forfeit. The mining is about equal, but HeRoMaRinE is going to treat us to a laser light show. Probably featuring Scorpion and Tangerine Dream. Yes, I know my German rock bands. Somehow those medevacs are getting the Marines back into the yellow. They have enough for another stim. Big time force fields for Trap. He saves his immortal. He's microing like a boss, but he needs units. The force field on the ramp is the only thing keeping him alive. And if falls, Terran's inside. Trap's trying a pincer maneuver, but there's not a lot of pin in his pincer. Is there enough to hold? Yes, your micro's extra awesome when you've only got 3 units. HeRoMaRinE is taking control of the natural. He's reached the mineral line, and it's GG. Trap throws in the towel, and he is your winner. HeRoMaRinE has to breathe a sigh of relief on that one. That was close. Both our players were seriously running out of steam there. Oh, Terran victory clip, where have you been? So yes, goodbye Oxide, you will be missed. We have a new map pool, people. It starts October 19, 2 days after this video is uploaded. We are saying goodbye to Oxide, Jagannatha, Lightshade, and Romanticide. 4 maps I have nothing bad to say about, other than we played them to death, so I admit it's time. We're keeping 3, 2,000 Atmospheres, Blackburn, and Beckett Industries, and we're getting 5 new ones. For those of you good at math, you will notice that totals 8 maps instead of the usual 7. The speculation is that this is an error, and that the controversial map Beckett Industries is actually going to be rotated out. Though officially, it appears to be still in. So let me quickly showcase the 5 new maps, because that's what we really care about here. I can only tell you what the speculation for these maps is, not what they actually will be. I haven't watched any games played out on them yet, let alone pro games. So it's possible that this video will not age well. First, Berlingrad. Berlingrad has vulnerable third base locations. The theory is this will mean we get a lot of aggression and the already common strategy of third base denial. It tends to give you that solid 15-minute game filled with action that really picks up after about 6 or 7 minutes. Next, Curious Minds. This is the new small map. It's a map where you can be attacked from a lot of different places and angles. And the idea in theory is to really increase the premium on scouting and on getting vision. That sounds cool to me, but I feel like that's already important in every game, so who knows? Glittering Ashes. This is your big map. The rush distance is 39 seconds, which in theory should mean extra safety and could encourage long defensive games. Hardwired. This is another big map. And this time there are rocks in the center lanes. I could see this map giving rise to games where the players actually mine out. And lastly, but definitely not least, Pride of Altaris. Or Pride of Altaris? This is the one map everyone will be talking about. I'm sure it will be loved or hated. Blizzard wanted to take a risk with one outside-the-box map this time around, and this is the one that made the cut. Firstly, it is a map using 4 levels of height instead of the usual 3. That may seem like a small thing, but I think it'll be huge. Second, this is the map that has the gold minerals, and we already know how much that changes strategies. And it is 8 patch gold mines, not the usual smaller 6 patches. In exchange, the gold mines will be in a very vulnerable spot on the lowest level of the map in the open. And lastly, it's another big map with a huge rush distance, 40 seconds actually. I'm looking forward to seeing these maps in action. That's it for me. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.